Hello everyone and welcome to KNC Homes, where we talk all things real estate, from investing to buying, selling, and even commercial leasing, you name it. We are a North Carolina real estate based firm, but all questions are universal, and it is our duty to answer those questions. We're going to talk about today the top 5 ways to invest in real estate. I myself am an investor. I've been investing in real estate since I was 25 years old. I myself as an agent have helped others invest in real estate. I help them analyze each property, profit and loss, and cash flow, and appreciation and depreciation. So these are all like terminology for analyzing an investment property. So yes, 100%, I can help with investment properties as well. The first way you can invest in real estate is to buy a rental property. Definitely it's a longer term strategy for retirement. It is something though that can add cash flow to your everyday life, depending on what you pay for the home versus whether you're paying cash for the home or you're getting a loan on a home, things like that. And that difference after expenses and things like that, that's your take-home cash flow. It's not only a great way to build a legacy for the future, but you can also pass that property down to your kids and your family down the line, or just keep it in your family forever. And it's a great way, to build that great real estate portfolio. So there are different types of rental properties. You can buy a single family home or you can buy a multifamily. And in the guidelines of lending, anything that's 4 units or below is still considered single family. So you have a great advantage as an investor that you can, purchase a property and still have it within certain guidelines that offers you less down payment, better interest rates, just overall better, financing to help with your cash flow, because you're going to have a lower interest rate buying a residential loan versus a commercial loan. So, for example, there are different types of financing to buy a rental property. For sure, you could, if you are a first-time home buyer or first-time investor. As an investor, you could do FHA financing. You could do conventional financing. You qualify for conventional financing as an investor. The home or the house or the property has to qualify under that guideline if you qualify. Keep that in mind. I'm not a lender. You must talk to a lender to make sure you know exactly what you qualify for. As an agent, my job is to guide you, right? And help you connect with the right people and help you guide you through the process. The second way you can get into real estate investing is to buy a vacation home. For example, I'm from the islands and I have family in Dominican Republic. Well, we own some things there. Some family owns some things there. And when they're not there, they rent that out through Airbnb or vacation rentals. Of course, there are risks involved when you have a vacation rental outside of the country that you live in. So please, just as a recommendation, make sure that that's some place that you frequent, you're familiar with, you feel comfortable with, and obviously do your due diligence and connect with the right people there as well. That is also an option to get into real estate investing. Buy a house, right? Fix it up and then sell it. They call these fix and flips. Some ways they call them rehabs, but I call them fix and flips. You could do that so many different ways. You can do it where you're an investor, you're buying it cash, you're fixing it up and turning it around real quickly. Or you can have that, that HGTV, thumb, but where you want to fix things and you kind of handy. Well, hey, buying a house as an investment, but as a primary that needs a little bit fixer upper, you move into it for 2 years, 3 years. What's that? That's no time. And in 2 or 3 years, you're taking your time, fixing it up, making it look great, making it newer, putting new things in it, the floor, the carpet, maybe new windows, whatever you do to improve that house's visibility and condition is only going to help the value of that house the longer you live in it. So appreciation definitely helps with that. And so you doing that will take advantage of being a primary residence and investment property, because you're buying with the intention of fixing it up and then later on selling it for a higher price. Again, you could do that in a 6-month window, 1-year window, or you could buy it as a primary residence like I have done in the past and lived in it for 2 or 3 years, fixed it up, and then sell it later on for a different price. The next way you can invest in real estate is to become a lender. There are builders that are looking for investors that build new construction, and they're looking for investors, and you can do your due diligence on this builder, and you invest with this builder, and once they sell the house, they pay you an interest rate. Now, of course, that takes a lot more trust on your behalf. You make sure that it's a reputable builder. Make sure that your name is listed on the deed, that your name is listed as a lender, that your name is listed on the insurance policy to protect you and your money. There's always risk with investing, but real estate is a very solid investment because you can touch it, right? You can go look at it. So please do that. If the investment or the lender's out of state, is more risk, right? Because now you don't see that. At the same time, this is another way that you can get into real estate investing. You don't necessarily have to own the property to get into real estate investing. As an agent, I can help you find investment properties 100%. We use the multiple listing service. Obviously, there's properties there for investment. Some investors say, find me a deal. I'm like, I'm gonna find you the best deal. And the best deal sometimes is in the multiple listing service because we know that seller is serious, right? They have the house on the market. So we know that they're serious and they're ready to go now. You can also work with for sale by owners, right? That's a great opportunity also, and I find those individuals as well for investors. If they wanted to work with individual owner, we could work with those too. The challenge with for sale by owners sometimes is that they're not a professional agent. So we do have to do a little bit more explaining about what you do as an investor. Right? So that's the give and take with working with for sale by owners. And lastly, you could work with a silent owner, someone that's not thinking about selling yet, hasn't talked to anybody yet, but maybe now the market is great and they're like, I want to talk to someone, but I'm not sure. So those owners are not for sale by owners, they're not yet on the market. So those are people that come through organically through networking and community service and engaging the community, and people get to know me as an agent and say, hey, when I have a question, even if I'm not ready right now, let me talk to Ari. Then what I can do as an investor is match those two individuals, like literally a real estate matchmaker. Like, this person is thinking about selling, this individual is investing. It's okay that it doesn't go into the multiple listing service because I'm still assisting those individuals achieve their goal, right? One wants to invest, one wants to sell. And so the last tip is to rent out part of your home, or what they call house hacking, right? Which is you either rent out, you own a home and you have a private entrance and you want to rent out that section only. Well, that individual is helping you pay for your mortgage. So you may rent it out if it's a large enough space, maybe cover half or more of your mortgage. Don't know. Every case is individual, case by case basis. Another idea is to buy a multi-unit, right? A duplex, a triplex, or a quadruplex, because that is 4 units or below, which will still qualify you as an investor. If you move into that property, is considered a primary residence. And you can rent out the other 3 units, and those 3 units income count towards your cash flow on your loan application. So there's a lot of benefits of that example also. And these are just some ideas of how you can get into investing in real estate. And everyone has a different risk capacity or risk appetite. These are just some ideas I'm sharing with you. Let me give you an example of what's happening in my local market, Charlotte, North Carolina. In our market, it's a seller's market, so it's very competitive for buyers, but they still want to live in a nice house and a nice home. And so pricing is, because it's low inventory, it is putting a upward pressure on home prices. So a buyer that now was pre-qualified, pre-approved for $250, well, if that home now is valued at $280, that buyer falls out of that equation, right? So what does that buyer do? they may, rent a property, right? So there's an opportunity for an investor to buy rental property and lease properties directly to folks that are falling out of that box of, hey, now I could afford a home, but now prices are going up because of the market change. So I have to wait another year or two. The second opportunity that's happening, or the example of what's happening in North Carolina, is the fix and flip scenario, where there's a lot of builders buying plots of land, like where maybe 6 homes go on that plot of land and they build 6 homes and sell it. Individual investors are buying lots and then building a home, or individual investors are buying a house that it's a little bit older, fixing it and flipping it, but turning it around very quickly, 6 months or less. And then lastly, you have the last example that I gave, where folks are buying multifamilies and renting out that multifamily. So those are 3 examples that are happening in my local market of investors and what they're doing. Okay, just to recap, some top ways to invest in real estate: buy rental property. Remember, understand your market, see what opportunities are there. 2, vacation homes. Those are always opportunities. You can also be a lender. You can always look at opportunities to be a lender. A great way to get into that is maybe talk to a real estate attorney. They may have opportunities there. Also, you can do a fix and flip, where you buy a house, you do a few things to it, whatever it needs to make it better, more appeal, and then you sell it. You can also move into that house. You don't have to, flip it right away. You can live in it for a while and then sell it. Lastly, you can house hack, where you can buy a house that's large enough where you can rent out a part of it, or you can invest into a multifamily home, multifamily property, and you move in you don't have to move in, or you could move into one of the units and rent out the other 3 units or the other number of units. Thank you everyone for watching. Please comment below. I want to hear your questions on the comments. Also, you can email me at ari@KeyNC Homes. And please subscribe. Look out for your boy. Holler. Bye. See you later.